Terrorists have penetrated everywhere and taken over some states. In fact, they have even hosted their flags in some of the local government areas. Nigeria is now a wasteland. Only those who are not scared of death might be lucky survive in it. They might be lucky to survive in it. We are in a critical moment where father abandons his wife and children and to survive on their own. Nigeria is bleeding and things are quickly falling apart. Our hearts have melted down and gradually we are moving towards Syria. People are afraid over unseen circumstances that look certain to consume them. Our collective hope is for a better society where justice and tranquility reign. Sadly, we are weighed down by all sorts of criminalities. Apparently, our people, our hope for a bright future has been hijacked by terrorists with the active complicity of the government of the day. We find ourselves in a situation similar to when a father witnessed how they his rape and killed his daughter. R is a country where terrorists can kill and set houses ablaze with absolute impunity. Our farmers have been killed by government aiding terrorists while their families have turned to graveyards. Farmlands have turned to graveyards. Students are being kidnapped by Fulani herdsmen just as our roads are not at any time safe to travel on. Ironically, government officials sit on the same table with kidnappers and terrorists negotiating ransoms and same is paid without delay while victims of the terrorists suffer. Our present predicament is as a result of the thievery, massive corruption, societal and economic disorder. Insecurity in the country has shut down businesses and chased out foreign investors. Many families have been ruined. Only God knows how they can overcome their numerous losses. Like every other country, Nigeria's future is in the hands of the children. But how can this be a reality when a so-called government that ought to protect them watches unconcernedly whilst they are being kidnapped, raped, and killed by terrorists? The school children in Kaduna, for instance, are still being held by their armed abductors. We live under illusions, and our so-called leaders show no concern despite the high level of insecurity in the country. These people who claim to be leaders ignore the rising insecurity threat in the country and give support to Fulani herdsmen who have killed and maimed farmers. The killers even have the audacity to claim responsibility of the atrocities, but with no consequences from a government that claims to protect lives and properties. Meanwhile, the National Assembly, which ought to serve as a check on the incompetent Buhari, has been an active part of the complicity against the Nigerian people whose interests they were meant to represent in Abuja. These days, all they do is to sabotage the people's desire for good governance by protecting Buhari, a man who is unfit to lead a group of people ranging from two and above. These sets of dishonorable members have misrepresented Nigerians in all ramifications. They are only being there after their bellies and to siphon funds meant for constituency projects, pad the budget and take delivery of the latest cars at the detriment of the neglected people they fraudulently claim to represent. Nigeria's security architecture has been manipulated and thoroughly compromised by the saboteurs with the system and with the support of the government. Insecurity in Nigeria is a tsunami that will soon consume everybody if nothing is done to avert it. Who is going to do anything? Is it the same people who are not bothered? Our conscience has been sold up so that people are now sympathizing with terrorists while those who oversee the historic incompetence and are defended by illiterate and gullible Nigerians who claim to be majority. Dictator Muhammad Buhari, a cruel fanatic and bigot, gives more priority to his kinsmen than any other people. He pardons those who have been terrorizing and killing law-abiding citizens. Despite clear evidence against Fulani herdsmen, he has refused to proscribe them as a terrorist organization. The other day, Miyetti Allah came on national television and issued a series of threats, but dictator Buhari looked the other way, pretending to be blind from old age. People are tired of this rural government, and so secessionists have taken over the streets, demanding to part ways with the terrible jungle created by dictator Buhari. Wisdom can't be so exhausted in the world that one will go for it in heaven. Obviously, dictator Buhari has run out of ideas. The National Assembly, as matter of urgency, should move a motion and proceed with the impeachment process of the incompetent president on behalf of 200 million Nigerians. It is very unfortunate that the same people have subjected themselves as slaves to the executive. If not, we would have forgotten by now that Buhari was president in the past. Terrorists have penetrated everywhere and taken over some states. In fact, they have even hoisted their flag in some of the local government areas. Nigeria is now a wasteland. Only those who are not scared of death might be lucky to survive in it. We are in a critical moment where a father abandons his wife and children to survive on their own. The so-called political will is not working due to the failed system that harbors criminality. It is time for all Nigerians. Time for all Nigerians to do what? To occupy Asu Rock and demand that dictator Muhammadu Buhari and his cohorts resign. I wish this writer has said it, or Nigerians that are just gullible, or the Nigerians that majority of them are not even seeing anything wrong in this. We see all of the people being mentioned. These are the reality we are faced with as a country at this moment. Okay, when it is going to happen, oh, we are all tired of these animalistic leaders. The Southwest and South is yearning critically for their freedom. Now big mass go kill una for this country. The truth is that Buhari came to power from the platform of APC, meaning Akida People Congress, which they mischievously marketed to Nigerians as All Progressives Congress. Human lives means nothing. Do a rundown on die-hard members of APC. Buhari is a sympathizer with Boko Haram for the cause they are prosecuting. Tinubu and his wife are blinded by 2023 ambition to the wanton killings in Nigeria. Dictator Buhari is a Boko Haram commander and his government is full of terrorists and their sympathizer. Okay. So guys, let's hear your opinion on this. Thank you.